Good evening, my name is David Cheney, and I will be discussing the future of free trade in our global marketplace. Earlier this month marked the beginning of another World Economic Forum, where world business and political leaders meet to discuss economic challenges of the coming year. This year, the forum had the opportunity to see a special guest speaker, Xi Jinping, the president of China, to come speak about the importance of globalization to future markets. Xi focused on the importance of free trade. According to Xi, the global economy is a big ocean that we cannot escape from. So is this true? Have we opened Pandora's box and are we in a world of globalization? And if so, is it really all that bad? It is important to note that the idea of free trade may not directly translate from Chinese thought into American thought. William Zavit, the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce in China, puts it this way. If one country's products are subsidized and protected in ways that make them more competitive internationally, is it really free trade? Tariffs applied to U.S. manufactured items and sold in China have caused increasing concerns for several industries in the United States, and Zavit would also contend that the state-owned enterprises in China are also sharing some of those protections that make export purchases in China less attractive. So what's the solution here, and what do we really want? We want equal and fair economic values. We want to know that the products produced in the United States will be competitive in the global market economy. This is how we, as a country, would see fair trade. So how did we choose to address the issue? Earlier last year, following a long negotiation process, an agreement was finally made to maximize actual free trade while establishing some international standards into the framework. This type of agreement with countries like China and other countries throughout the Pacific is one of the biggest regional trade deals in history, spanning nearly 40% of the GDP and about one-third of all world trade. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is advertised to accomplish three important tasks: increasing U.S. jobs and growth, setting standards for global values, and establishing the U.S. as a key player in those standards. And this agreement even claims to drop up to 18,000 different taxes while raising the prices of American products sold overseas. So I'm sold. This product sounds great. I can't imagine that there are any differing opinions, right? Well, wrong, of course. There's a large group of people that think that the TPP is the completely wrong direction, and some even have made a poster here which describes how they feel that the deal itself was made behind closed doors, and that there is some actual division as to whether or not people think that this product will cause the wealthy to get more wealthy and the poor to get more poor. Along with many of the other people out there that don't agree with it, is near the top of the list is President Donald Trump. In fact, during his campaign, he's pretty much said that it is intent to get rid of the TPP altogether and instead would just raise taxes on Chinese products by 45%. So now, the year of the inauguration of Donald Trump, we see President Xi Jinping taking a hard stance on the importance of globalism and the need to fight against protectionism. So, who's right? Is the Trans-Pacific Partnership the right answer? Should we drop it and commence taxation of China? I don't believe the answer is a simple yes or no. I do believe Xi Jinping did get one thing right. No one is going to win in a trade war. It seems, though, that President Xi is saying all of the right things. Globalization is a two-edged sword, and we need to handle it deliberately and with a plan. Unfortunately, it is clear that China also has an agenda. They have rationalizations for unfair practices that they attribute to a successful plan to address their own special interests, and the global economy is looking for a leader to take charge of this new era of global economy. If the U.S. leaves this position in a vacuum, it is clear that China is tactically poised to go in and fill that role. China has established a backup plan of the TPP if it falls through, and this plan is gaining momentum, and Xi is starting to be revered as a core part of the economic global advancement. If we allow China to mold the framework for labor practices and global trade, I feel everyone will lose in the long haul. In the end, if we completely abandon the Trans-Pacific Partnership and decide to isolate ourselves from the rest of the world, then we all lose. The U.S. economy is intrinsically linked to Chinese trade and vice versa. With threats from Donald Trump to effectively shut down forward trade with China, I don't believe that China necessarily wants to see TPP fail, but if it does, they have experienced financial benefits of globalization, and they are sure to have a backup plan that will keep forward trade going outside of the U.S. These are my works cited, so if you're interested in anything else that we've talked about here, that's where you go. Have a good day.